It's time for the Gettin Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank Lake Millers Ferry Weekend Hunting and Fishing Report. A weekly update on water conditions, ramp events, generating schedule, what's biting, and seasonal hunting information with outdoor reporters Joe Allen Dunn, Kevin Sims, and Shane Jones. This weekly hunting and fishing report is brought to you by the good folks at Town Country United Bank in Camden, Alabama, serving their customers for over 40 years. Town Country United Bank's highest priority is satisfied customers. Now, here's your weekend Lake Millers Ferry hunting and fishing report.
Summertime, we're feeling fine, fishing on the lake, flipping jigs and Carolina rigs, from early morning till real late. Bonfires on the creek bank, kick back a couple beers. Yeah, we command the outdoors around here. Yeah, we command the outdoors. Yeah, we command the outdoors. Next year's doves until you know winter's on the way. Brushing blinds and deer stands. Fever starts to creep. We'll fill our freezers full of ducks, lots of tender deer. Yeah, we command the outdoors around here. Yeah, we command the outdoors. Yeah, we
another one on the B&B Silver Shade.
So grab your guns and shells, boys. Put on your camouflage. 'Cause we command the outdoors around here. We command the outdoors.
Team Bigfoot in the
Around here. James Jones crappie fishing.
First one, 2023, smackdown.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Gettin Outdoors podcast, 237 Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report for the weekend of September the 22nd through the 24th, 2023, with my outdoor reporter Shane Jones, Kevin Sims, and Joe Allen Dunn. Boys, what a weekend, Shane. What a weekend you had up there at the Crappie Expo, man.
Yeah, buddy. I'm glad I talk a lot, Big Daddy. I wouldn't have no voice.
I told you. I said I sat there for 3 days, man. You had how many people you think came through your booth in 3 days?
I don't know. You know, there were every time I looked up, Big Daddy, we were blessed. There was 10 or 15 people there. About every time I looked up. The only time it was slow was when the weigh-ins were going on there. So we were blessed and had a lot of people come through there. I don't know how many, but a good bit.
I had just got through doing the podcast with Steve Long, because he is the host of the Cast and Blast radio show on Saturday morning from 7 to 9 on WJDB 95.5 and the Power Pig down in Evergreen and some other radio stations in Montgomery. And we talked about his position as the shooting coach at the University of Montevallo Outdoor Scholars Program, and he goes in detail about what they're doing. That's getting real popular. That shooting and archery, and they have a lot of colleges and high schools are adding that to their curriculum now, and those kids are really learning a lot, and I love to see them get involved in the outdoors with that shooting, and that skeet shooting something else, I guarantee, and I appreciate Steve doing that with us. Got a lot to talk about today. You know, we got a big race coming through here starting next Saturday, the Great Alabama 650. It'll be 20 world-class athlete paddlers, canoe paddlers coming from Wise Lake all the way to the Mobile Bay, 650 miles. They'll do it in about 4 or 5 days. They don't stop. It's something really to keep up with. You can keep up with it, and I'll be keeping up with it on my Facebook page. But what I want to kind of dedicate tonight's show to, I got a a message the other day from some guys over in Headland, Alabama. Headland, I don't know what county it's in. It's right out of Dothan, Alabama, down there in the Wiregrass. But they got a high school bass team called Headland Bass Team. Look at that group of guys right there. Now, that is a good-looking group of bass anglers right there. And they are coming to Demopolis on October the 21st, I believe it is, October the 21st, to fish in the Alabama High School Bass Nation Tiger Division tournament against, I don't know how many it'll be 160 boats representing probably 60 or 70 high schools in Alabama. But these guys here contacted me this week and wanted us to kind of showcase the Demopolis Lake Farm. And none of these guys have ever been to Demopolis. And I told them all to listen in tonight. And we're going to go over it when we get to the Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing for Bass Report. We're going to kind of let Kevin and Joe Allen and Shane just kind of introduce these guys. That's a good-looking group of bass anglers right there to Lake Demopolis, and kind of give them a heads up on what to expect when they come over here on October the 21st. But I always love to help them high school kids out. And that really is a good-looking group of kids. The Alabama Wildlife Federation cook-offs are going on right now. We got one in Selma coming up pretty quick. I forgot. I didn't write the dates down, but it is coming up pretty quick. And I know November the 2nd, I talked to David Skipper a long time today about the one in Grove Hill, and he's really needing cook teams. We need cook teams. I think it's October the 19th in Selma, but they need cook teams. And one in West Alabama, Grove Hill, needs cook teams. And Joe Allen, I really wish you would put it together, a cook team. You and Kevin both need to do it, and go give that team Tucker ATV a little challenge over there.
Yeah, my buddy and them just won one at the zoo. They're going to the state championship. They had one up here. They won it. So I don't even know if it's the same affiliation or not.
Yeah. They just had it last week at the zoo in Birmingham. So they have. I think they have 26 of them all over the state, and the winner of each one gets to go to the state finals in August.
Yeah, Wheeler, Sewell, and Jake Brown, they won. They blew it out of the water, they said. And
did y'all see where they arrested the guy in Wetumpka for killing a bear last week? And I don't know the details. I just heard the state side of the story. But I did get a text from somebody up that way that told me, believe me, it was a bad scene. I don't know what happened, but they said it was bad. But he got arrested, and he will serve his time or his fine or whatever they have. And Kevin, I want to know, and everybody listening wants to know about that corn pile your truck was parked in front of the other day. Where was that at?
That was in Marshall, Missouri. It was about a half-mile long, and that was D6 Dozers pushing the corn up in the pile. That was trucks, 18-wheelers. I was parked about a mile from it, and all their silos were full, and it's like an airport, big concrete pad, about a half mile long. They were about 3/4 of the way down that thing, and it was a storm coming. They were putting the tarp on it. That was more impressive than the corn, putting that damn tarp over that thing.
Yeah, it was a lot of
looking thing with some pulleys and stuff. It was pulling that damn big old tarp over that pile of corn.
It reminded me of that barge full of soybeans Shane sent me with them ducks eating all that time.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that was I appreciate you sending me that. All right, let's get to the Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report. We'll start off with the Millers Ferry Powerhouse and the Jones Bluff Powerhouse, according to the website. At Millers Ferry tomorrow, September the 28th, they are pulling 72 megawatts from 4 p.m. till 8 p.m. From 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., 25 megawatts. At Jones Bluff from 3 to 4 p.m., 53 megawatts. And from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., 59 megawatts. From 6 to 7 p.m., 81 megawatts, and from 7 till 8 p.m., 49 megawatts. Now, I have got to get a table, Kevin. We got to get a table to find out, what 1 unit is, 2 units is, 3 units is. We need to find that out because that's the way most people relate.
I think it's a range. I think you got 1 unit could be, 32 to, 25 to 30 or something like that. That's what I thought to think is, that it'd be 72 units one time, and I'm assuming that's 3 units, then it'll be 80 another time, or 78 or whatever. So I'm assuming they have a small range. It'd be nice if we get one of the guys from the powerhouse that could tell us, 1 unit's gonna be from 31 down, 2 units from 42 down, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It kind of varies, when you look at the website.
Well, it's somebody, we'll find somebody that can do that. I guarantee you it's somebody that can give us that information, and I'll try to get that. But water temperature, it ain't cooled off a bit, has it, Shane?
Nothing I know of, Big Daddy. It's supposed to be 90 degrees coming up Saturday.
I know it, and this time of the year, it's really, really supposed to be cooled off. We'll start off with catfish. Alabama Catfish Series had their tournament at Lake Saturday. Stanley and Mike Cruz won it with 3 fish. It weighed 68.3 pounds. The big fish was 44.9. Todd and Hunter Howell, they had 3 fish at 58.4, and the big fish was 34.6. And Breedlove and Floyd won 3rd place with 3 fish, 44.1 pound with a 19.3 pound big fish. And the next Alabama Catfish Series tournament will be at Demopolis on the same day as the high school tournament. Boy, that's gonna be.
They're gonna get rocked out in the middle of that river.
They don't have but about 14 or 15 boats, so it's enough room for all of them. But catfishing, the jugging, what's going on right now, Joe Allen?
Long line out in the river, and I actually got to talk to Big Bama last Sunday, and we got talking about he's buying a bunch of Shimano reels from me, and he said they're the best catfishing reels he's ever used. But I got to pick his brain about that when the water is not moving and what is really the best technique for that. And he said he has always done better, either pulling, dragging the baits, and I've always wondered because I thought about doing that, and then he confirmed what I thought. He said he's actually would take reels all around his boat and drop them down, say, 30 foot. But you said you got to be quiet doing that and let the wind drift the boat. So you get where you can get wind or whatever to drift or he said, hit the trolling motor just, every once in a while and move yourself down the river and hang the baits. It'd be basically like doing 30-foot jugs, but with your boat. Have 8 rods around the boat with them down and slowly go down the boat. But he said, keep it quiet. And I understand that because them big fish, when you have a whole bunch of boat traffic or whatever, will shut it. Them fish will go to the bottom, won't do nothing. But he said, just move down the river, just slowly doing that, or either just put them all out and just slowly drag them.
Yeah, and now you can do it. That river's just as still as it can be when it ain't pulling that water. So that's the way to do it. Is you got to be moving.
Yeah.
All right. What did that do? What did that do, Kevin? They made a mess putting them pipes in going to Ellis's Landing. One of them's halfway in the water and one of them's halfway out the water. And next time you go to Ellis's, look over there. I wonder what that's going to do to the bait catching there at the Ellis Landing.
Well, I don't know if it's if it's a bigger pipe that's doing it, I have not seen it. If it's a bigger pipe, you know, it's probably not going to change nothing. But if it's a smaller pipe and the water gets low and it ain't going to be as much water going through one of them and more water going through the other one, it's going to be something different. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be different. But if they put a bigger pipe in, because that makes it stick up like that, then you know, whenever you have good water flow, it's gonna change up something. You know, you're gonna have more current going through one, gonna change all kind of patterns. It'll make difference.
It better be a big one, because they started out with a little one and the high water blowed it out.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be different, I guarantee you. And hey, Shane, Sonny Stuckey's on here. He said thank you for hooking him up. He got his battery ordered.
Yeah, he called me. You know, I met them at the Rack and Reel. Him and his wife come up to me, and when he called me, I knew exactly who it was. And he said he was having battery troubles. I told him to go and order him lithium and be done with it. So
Yeah, that ionic lithium.
I got him hooked. I got him hooked up with my guy, and he ordered him one, and he's done with it now. So he'll be happy.
Cured my problem. I guarantee you that. It cured mine. Had no battery trouble since then. All right, let's talk about crappies. Shane, the expo, it was you know, I don't know how many people it was. If Wally was disappointed I hadn't talked to him or not, but from everything I'm hearing, it was a success. It might not have been, it might have just been a break-even success, but it was some crappie fishermen there. The tournament went real well. The Alabama boys had a good show, and almost all of them finished in the top 10. I think it was a success. What say you?
Oh yeah, it was a steady flow of people. I mean, there was some miscommunication between, you know, another tournament going on, but it didn't really just kill it. But the national championship was going on, but it was busy, and I met I got the opportunity to meet a lot of folks that follow this show and follow a crappie cast, and that was fun putting, you know, faces with names. I enjoyed that. So that, I mean, they were standing 2 or 3 deep, being patient, waiting to get to John and I, and it was fun. You know, there was so many people there. I had to excuse myself to go to the bathroom. I mean, which was a good thing. So I got to meet a lot of people. So
somebody told me you and John were the Michael Waddell's of the show down there. So they were live.
We had a good time. John was tying jigs, and Jessica was meeting folks, and we were busy there, but it was enjoyable. It was fun, and hopefully the show is going to keep growing, and we keep meeting a lot of good folks from doing that. So.
All right, on Millers Ferry this week, Scott Mitchell had a good week. Kenny Massengill had a good week. Mike Letkins, I think he was down below the dam. He had a good week. Tim Maddox is still doing good up there at Bankhead. Jimmy Hogan had a great day at Tom Bigby. But now, Shane, you getting pop-ups every day about memories from last year. It ain't nothing like it was last year. That river is not cooled off, but it's cleared up. If
yes, it's behind. It's
now,
the bad thing about it is it's just an inconsistent pattern for guys. You know, you have to stay moving all the time. You better have minnows. You better have little jigs, and you better be moving, because it like I was telling Big Daddy, I share with him every day. From 2 weekends ago, I was clobbering them crappie, and the water was in the mid 70s, and now it's, you know, in the low 80s, and you know that when that water's still hot, their metabolism's still kind of messed up, and they're moving all over the place, and I think we're about 2 or 3 weeks from real good fishing. But now when you go, you got to go. So,
what about look at that hat Joe Allen got on?
Joe got a fine hat there, don't he?
I'm a crappie cast supporter.
He got old crappie cast hat with a nice leather patch. My rod and reel guy, my rod guy from Lost Creek Custom Rods, he gave me that hat, and I said, I know exactly where this would go. He knew I wouldn't wear it, but Joe Allen was trying to get it. I said, "Oh, I'm bringing it to you anyway." So
that's a good looking hat. I started to confiscate it. It stayed at my house for a week. I started to confiscate it. But crappie fishing, if you're coming to Demopolis or Millers Ferry this week, what do you do, Shane?
Yeah, man. Like I said, there's some main river fish to be found. If you got the opportunity to have side stand, please use it and look for some fish. You may have to cover some water, but when you find them, you'll catch them that day, and they may be gone the next day. So when you have an opportunity to catch them, hey, stay with them and catch them. Just be able to be mobile and don't get frustrated. And times are coming. It's coming soon. So.
Yep, it is. I believe that, but I think I'm not going back out there till the water cools off. Now let's go to bass fishing, and once again, guys, I told these these young anglers at the Headland Bass team in Headland, Alabama, excuse me, that we would kind of showcase Demopolis Farm. So what I'm going to do is for these guys, they've never been to Demopolis before, Shane. They don't know. They don't want to know where to catch fish. They just want to know something about the lake. So I'm going to start with you. Tell them, for the first person coming up there, young anglers, tell them something about Lake Demopolis.
I'm sure they're going to put it in City Landing. Wouldn't you think so, Kevin? I mean, that's the Tom Bigby River. And then you got the Warrior that goes up. So hopefully you'll get some rain, guys, and the water will be up and you can get in these creeks and find you some fish. But if not, those creek mouths are going to be crowded up through there if you got a crowd. So Kevin's going to tell you the same thing. Everybody fishes creek mouths unless the water gets up, and then they'll bust up in those creeks.
Kevin, what do you say? You was telling me something last night. Now, you got a lot of experience on Demopolis. These guys are hungry, and they want to know how to catch a bass or something about the lake.
I went up there. I hadn't fished this time of year in a while. I went up there weekend before last. I went up there fishing and didn't have no banner day, but there was no little tournament going on. And like Shane said, that wherever you get first thing that morning, that when you get ready, if you're fishing a creek mouth, when you move from there, you're going to go away before you find another one that ain't got somebody sitting in it. But we actually went shallow. We went to, there's 2 or 3 bigger creeks that you can maneuver around in and fish, with French Creek. And we actually caught a few fish in French Creek, and there was 10, 12 boats in there because some really good secondary points, and there's some pockets that have a little more water in those, and you got on the riverbank, you got a few places on the riverbank you can fish. There's a lot of red clay bank. Warrior River, we're going to start with the Warrior. When you go to the Warrior River, you got a lot of creek mouths. You have a stabler color on that river. There's some red clay banks. You have a little bit of bank grass around all your cuts and stuff like that. We call it bank grass. It's gator grass, Kissimmee grass, whatever you want to call it. It's the same grass. But that necessary with the water down, fish may not be in that grass, but they'll stage out there 4 or 5 foot water from that grass using it as an edge. You can still catch fish. Well, the cuts. Your major creeks, if you look at a map, your major creeks, you can go in there, you can catch fish. They won't be too shallow. They'll be accessible with your boat safely. You go to Tom Bigby River, you're going to have a little more color. Just naturally dirtier. It's going to be a little darker. Even with the water clear as it is, it's going to be dirtier because you got more bars tracking. Rattlesnake Bend is actually a dead river run where they actually dredged around and took a big curve out the river to straighten out the river. There's a lot of grass, a lot of timber, a lot of treetops, shady banks in there. There's a couple of high banks. There's some places in there you can get in. There's some cypress trees in the water that's adjacent to deep water. Wind and pattern being there, I can't tell you, but it is a pleasant place to fish on a tournament day. Miles of bank in there that looks good, pleasant fishing. One thing that if you stay on the lower end, I say lower end, if you stay within 6 miles, 7 miles of the forks of the river, when you leave City Land, there's a fork in the river right there. The right goes to the Black Warrior, left goes to Tom Bigby. If you're within 5 or 6 miles, every time they lock a boat, dude, you get a heavy float. You get a heavy. It's just like they turn the powerhouse on because it's I'm assuming it's the range you are from that lake and the amount of drop we have at that lock, but you get a lot of movement in the water. And there's certain creeks that when you get that movement, you're gonna trigger a bite. The favorite one is at the grain elevator. If you're riding the grain elevator and the water moves, the fish bite, or especially if they're discharging husk at the same time, it's really on right there.
Remember up the Black Warrior, Earl Ritchie's favorite creek was Big German.
Yeah, that's a long ways though, and that's a good creek. That's another major creek, but it's a you're near about past. Well, you got to go past Lot 5. I mean, you're 30 miles.
It's It's on this side of Lock 5.
Yeah.
It's right
But,
on. I fish it a good bit.
Yeah, the whenever you have that when they locking boats through and the dam at Demopolis doesn't have a powerhouse. It's not a hydroelectric, but they have a spillway. So you got natural current anyway. But when the water's real low, it's not much because it's just trickling over that spillway. But when they lock a boat down, the water gets going. If you're on lower end, you'll think, Lord, Jesus, where's going on? Damn, bro.
Well, hey, Kevin, that's the same way when a barge passes you. It moves some water.
Yes, right. They'll suck it out in the creeks, and they'll make a mud line. Especially with the water low like it is right now, when that barge go by or they start locking one down, it'll pull muddy water out of some of those real shallow sloughs and make you a good mud line, and fish will turn on right there,
Sure will.
Kevin never could figure out the mileage on the Black Warrior because we always run out of gas coming on.
Every time. We run all the way to Aliceville. I mean, Utah. Yeah, Aliceville. Yeah. We run out of gas. Utah. We run out of gas coming home every time.
Well, I wouldn't tell nobody that, but I hope that's some pretty good. That's some pretty good advice for those kids, and that tells them a good bit. Something they didn't know after tonight. So I hope all of them are listening to this.
Yeah, one of them could call me Big Daddy. I can tell them what creeks have got stumps in it and what creek to watch, and
I did catch a couple fish in Belmont, Shane, in cypress trees, and it was on toward the middle of the day. I think if we'd have went in there earlier that morning,
that's a good creek. The good thing about it, if you get on that pattern in Belmont, you can go to Spidell Lake right there and keep on going.
Oh yeah, that's right. But you got a little bit more water on that first third of trees in Belmont. Those ones, like where you can cut across from Belmont to Slidell. Those trees got a little water around them, but down on in the back and Slidell, it's pretty shallow, just like it is in the back.
There's some crappie on those stumps. I heard my buddy caught some Sunday. There's some crappie starting to get in there, so them bass will be doing the same thing. So.
Yeah, we caught the bait that seemed to be. We threw a white swim jig, we threw a white spinner bait, but those fish came on the Tom Beaver where you had a little more color. A red lipless crankbait one knocker is what we had, just like a round trap, but the one knocker's got one big bead in it. That's what fish on that in Foster and French Creek, but red with black stripes on it, and it seemed to be because I was in the back of the boat and the guy in the front was throwing that red thing like that, and he caught more fish than I did when we were fishing in French Creek.
Hey, but that's some good advice. Now, I want to tell all you guys listening in Headland, all you high school guys that are coming to Demopolis on October 21st, and your families, be sure to check out my sponsors over there in Demopolis. If you're in the market for a golf cart, Plaza Golf Cart sales right there on Highway 80 in Demopolis, and Southern Oaks Outdoors just opened up right there on Highway 80. Used to be Willingham Sports. They got a store like Dunn Sports. They got a lot of stuff in there, so y'all check them out when you go to Demopolis, and we'll be talking more about this high school tournament coming up in the weeks to come. But thank y'all for all that good advice, and I know they appreciate it, and I appreciate them tuning in tonight. All right, let's go to dove hunting, Joe. I had the honor and pleasure and just had me a ball at Rick Pipkin's Possum Bend Dove Club hunt this Saturday, and old Joe Allen got out in the field, and I could sit there and watch him with my binoculars, and he's good for the shotgun shell industry. I can tell you that.
I wasn't missing that much. You was looking at somebody else. I think you was looking at somebody else.
No, I wasn't.
Which was it? More shotgun holes on the ground or beer cans? Which one was it?
It was fun. I'll tell you that. Old Rick Pipkins put on a show now. He fed us, old boy from the Rack and Reel. He fed us, and it was just a lot of fun. Now, that's the way to spend a Saturday. I sat there and watched them doves fly, watch them guys kill them doves, and listen to the Alabama football game. It was just, I had me a ball. I appreciate Rick inviting me. Joe Allen, it was a good hunt, wasn't it?
It was a fabulous hunt. I mean, when the birds started, they poured in. And I was real good right there first. And like I told you, I started doing something wrong, and I could not correct it. And I couldn't kill one after that. So.
Called birthdays.
No, I mean, I had about 10 birds like that. And then all of a sudden I went to missing, and the next 20 birds I missed.
Well, I can tell you what, it was it was a young war going on from about 4:30 till Rick Carley hunt off. It was some doves coming in there, ain't no doubt about it. That's the best dove hunt I've seen in a long time. All right, let's talk rodeo, Kevin. Let's talk rodeo. You went to Missouri last weekend. Brody rode the horse. I watched the videos. He rode him good, but he still ain't marking him out.
Yeah, he missed him. He actually rode 2 really ranked horses that really good. He just missed his mark out coming out, and didn't really have his feet going like he needs to be. But making progress. The last year, most of them really ranked horses booked him off, and he was able to handle that horse, and made a little progress. Talked to some of the guys. The number 1 man in the world. He was over in Brody's. He was over talking to Brody, and the number 1 college kid in the world, his brother. He was over helping Brody. So Brody got some good info. And that left her on a high note. The UWA girls won the event in the girls division. So they're back on track to win another national championship.
And this weekend, the rodeo is in Livingston. The University of West Alabama College Rodeo Showdown is 14 colleges are going to be there, Kevin. That's going to be a big, huge event starting, what is it, Thursday night, ain't it?
Thursday night, yeah. And, I think it's only 7 or 8 schools that's in the Ozark region, and we're attracted. Last year, I didn't know how many it was, but I know I saw Mississippi State. I saw Auburn. There was a couple of Auburn is just now getting their rodeo program going. They were there, but I don't know who all else is not in the Ozark region because it's not specifically. I mean, it's not anybody can come to college, but it is an Ozark regional rodeo.
Well, there's 14 schools, 14 colleges are going to be there. According, it says 10 on the flyer, but George Henry is promoting it on Dixie Country, and he said it's 14 colleges participating in it this week.
And it's going, it's a lot of planning went into it, a lot of effort, a lot of work. The arena looks great. Got a new press box, the stand for the announcer. Gonna have a jumbotron set up on one end. There'll be 2 live cameras going on in the arena where you have instant replay, slow motion, all kind of stuff like that. They'll have a boom camera with a man on it that can run it up and down. It's a remote control. It'll be keeping up with action. Brody said they're gonna probably post like the media day interviews and profile. They're gonna have all that stuff when you coming up to do your event. It should be entertaining event.
Well, we're going to be pulling for old Brody, and that dang, you tell him to mark them horses out when he comes out to shoot now, because that's all he needs to do now. All right, Joe. All right, Kevin. I'm Shane tomorrow night on Crappie Cast on the Shane Jones Fishing Facebook and YouTube channel. What y'all got going on tomorrow night?
We're just going to actually talk about the expo and let everybody kind of get feedback and how it went. And then we got some guests that's going to be coming up on the show. I've got Steve Coleman, probably one of the crappie fishing there ever was. Captain Coleman, they're the GOATs, 8-time national champion. He's going to come on in the next few weeks. We're going to let him get some rest from the tournament, and we're gonna get Shiloh Chappelle. He's been on the show a few times, but he came in 5th. I think Eric came in 8th, and I think the Threadgills come in 7th, and Aaron Knight was right in there too. All of us in the top 10. So we're gonna get them all on there because they had some tough fishing guys for sure.
Now I talked to Gerald Overstreet the other night, and he said that's what he was doing. He was power trolling to catch them fish the other day. He was using 6 rods, 2 16th ounce jigs per rod with 3/4 inch weights, and he was going through there anywhere from a half a mile to 0.8 miles an hour, and he caught the hell out of them.
Yeah,
I
you
ain't
can-
gonna work that hard.
Yeah, I don't care for the trolling, but people can do it. So
Yeah. All right. Now you dropped your podcast number 3, your in-depth crappie cast in-depth series this morning. It's
Yes,
on
sir.
schooling, catching those schooling crappie. And
yes,
that,
sir.
that was
I
good.
think I shared some information John and I did that nobody's going to tell you. I've never heard anybody cover the way John and I did. So you better really watch that one, because we've learned from the best, and John's picked it up, and I've gotten pretty fair at it, and it's fixing to be that kind of season. It starts in November. You could tell, guys, when you throw up these brush piles and you catch a couple and then that school moves off, they fixing to get ready to start running when that water cools off. So, and learning how to chase them is a fun way to catch them.
And you can download that on any of wherever you listen to your podcast, your Apple Podcast app, or your Android podcast app,
Yes.
or on Spotify.
I put it on YouTube this evening, so the video is actually on YouTube also. So.
All right, Joe Allen, you out of dove stuff? You ought to sold some bullets this weekend. This week, all them they got shot up at Rick's hunt the other day.
Yeah, the dove stuff's pretty much going about over with. We're getting ready for the archery, and we're ready for gun season. Folks around here, we're getting ready. We're getting ready to kill a deer.
There you go.
Me and Kevin's getting our gear ready. We're checking our backpack, making sure we got a hunter's orange and everything we need, because we're going to have a fine video for y'all this year. No doubt.
Oh, man. What you drinking in that cup tonight? That's what I want to know. What you drinking in that cup?
He knows I ain't not changed nothing.
He did. I'm my gun. I'm not shooting his gun no more.
Me and Shane's going to do an earlier video on that. Shane's getting his bow gear ready.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. I got my bow
And
ready.
then Kevin's going to do the gun video.
Hey,
see what we can do.
Michael Hilliard wants to know if anybody's catching any skipjack at Millers Ferry. Joe Allen and Kevin, y'all know?
I asked everybody I know, and everybody said no. Michael did pretty good this week. I'm not sure where he was at. I watched 2 or 3 of his live videos. You know,
He's at Wheeler. He's at Wheeler. He's up there. Them fish up there are animals, buddy.
Yep, they sure are, Shane. He had some good ones.
Where was
What,
Michael?
Kevin?
He was up there at Wheeler Lake. He was up there at Wheeler on the Tennessee River.
Yeah, he has some nice fish. I watched 2 or 3 of his videos this week.
Yeah, there's some monsters up there.
All right, guys, y'all go get you some supper or whatever. What y'all cooking tonight, Kevin?
Denise had to go to work last night. We had hamburger steaks and twice baked potatoes and lemon icebox pie. And she took the extra hamburger she made me some sloppy joes and put in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna go warm me up a sloppy joe.
There you go.
All right, Joe Allen.
Yeah.
What, Joe Allen? What did you say?
I said, me and Don's doing hamburger steaks tonight.
Okay. All right, Kevin. Shane, what you cook? You been cooking at night pretty
Hey, I've
good.
been cooking some. I ate some. My neighbor's Rottweiler in the lab helped me take out the last pork chops today, so I'm gonna have to go get me some. So they come over and visit me every morning. And it's kind of funny.
You coming down here this weekend, Shane?
Yes, sir. I gotta go visit Kevin Friday, and I plan on going to Demopolis Saturday morning unless something changes my mind, but we'll see.
I see Brandon Threadgill on here. Congratulations to him.
Yeah,
and Jason
Brandon did
this
real
week.
well.
Congratulations, Brandon.
Yeah, they do.
Shane?
They fish in tough conditions, boy. Woo.
You need to be putting out more steak beds while the water's low.
No, I ain't fun. I ain't fooling no steak bed. It cools off.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you for another great show. Thank you. We'll be back here next week, same time, same channel for the Getting Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank, hunting and fishing report. See you guys this weekend.
Pap taught me every critter's track and how to set a hair trigger on a trap. He taught me to shoot, scale, and skin and make a snare with a leather strap. He taught me to be a part of the woods and all his woodsy tricks. Said you gotta walk soft on 2 light feet and try not to break no stick. I thank Daddy for my savvy, how to hunt and how to carry anything that I might need to get a piece of skillet meat. How to walk and how to hide, how to crawl and how to slide, how to sneak, stalk and climb and do